What's your first impressions on the season?
Season ended up being, it was an up and down season. We started out with injuries. Our fourth man, Gabe Acey, come in with a stress fracture shortly after the season started. So we lost him for 2 or 3 weeks. Jordan Satoli, as you know, started out last year, ran 1 race, and then was gone with a stress fracture of the tibia. And then Greg Bogdan got an injury to his foot. He was out in a boot for 2 or 3 weeks. So it was really touch and go. We didn't really race that much. They're not a high mileage team. We're getting in maybe 50 miles a week, trying to avoid injury, trying to get everyone recovered. Probably one of the most focused teams I've ever had. As a team, they were unified. They all bought into the training. They all bought into each other, and they were all driven to win the NEACs again. And it was kind of neat. It was fun. It was a fun season.
Was pulling it back a little bit with this team, was that based just on some of the injury issues that happened right at the start of the season, or was that a conscious focus for you to change it up a little bit this year?
It was both. Cody Russell, who should have been my third man easily last year, really struggled. Last year's team really functioned on high mileage. We're doing 16-mile runs. And this year's team, Cody had mentioned that he was just tired at the end of the season, just worn out.
Right.
And he's probably runs his best between 40 and 50-mile weeks. And that's what we brought the team down. Knowing that he couldn't handle it, and the injuries were cropping up. And we had a lot of freshmen this year. So we just kind of sort of geared everything back to fit them. Knowing that we weren't going to be able to do the high mileage.
Right.
I think the hardest thing as a coach, and it's the hardest thing as a classroom teacher, is to read the feedback the kids are giving you. Is it constructive feedback? Is it going to benefit the whole team, or is it personal feedback, something that one person is looking for an answer for?
Right.
And Cody's not that kind of kid. Cody is truly, he's a team player. And when he comes to me with ideas, then I really listen closely to him. And he's experienced. He's a senior. He's run 4 years. He was on a championship high school team. He's been on our championship team here. So his viewpoints, his thoughts are very important to me. At the end of the season, when we were going that weekend that we're leaving for NEACs, I really sat back on Friday night before we left, or when we got out there on Thursday night before we left, thinking, did we do enough? And there was no way we could have done it anything differently, because everybody was, barring the injuries, and we had everyone healthy. We were a little bit undertrained, I thought, but when it began to unfold, we hit the nail right on it. I think it comes down to the fact that we were more rested. We only raced. That would have been our fourth race of the season. Everything else that we went, every other place we went, we tempoed, or I didn't race my top guys. And knowing that we were going out there more rested, and I don't think Copaskill thought we were that good. I don't think anyone thought we were that good. And I think they were looking...
advantages sort of to the strategy.
Yeah. So when the coach from Mooresville asked one of our guys, or made a comment to them, that we did a wise thing when we went out to, out to Williams College and tempo. We didn't tempo out there. That was supposed to be. That was supposed to be an all-out. I was going to try to get 4 guys under 16 or under 17 at least, and that just didn't happen. But they were. Right from the start of the season,
it's tough running up in that altitude in the Berkshires, I should know.
Well, yeah, it's definitely high altitude. One of the things I said to the guys early on in the season when we began, that we were going to go into every race tired, and we were not going to rest until we got to the end. And I'm expecting a real good performance this Saturday. I'm thinking that I think Jordan Sertoli has a real outside chance, a pie in the sky chance to make it to the Nationals. I think a number of things made it fun. They're coachable kids. They come in, they gave me input, I used their input, but they worked hard. It was every day. That core group, they were at practice every day. They're staying on their academics. I mean, these are quality athletes. These are the kind of athletes that all college coaches look for. And you're going to have them 4 years. They're going to graduate after 4 years, and they're going to give you everything. They're going to give you 100%. And that's what's fun to work with these guys. It's not like I'm babysitting. I'm having more fun than they are.
That's it. That's excellent. That's all I can ask for. We'll get you out of here on this. How many miles did you run today? You saw you were over there sitting aside before you came down.
It's a long way back, and when you're starting from the cellar, you know what it is.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to tell you.
I've never gotten out of the cellar. Okay.
I'm going to tell you how many I want to run. Someday I want to be able to race a 5K again, but I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Well, for those who don't know, Coach Tylutki's in there almost all the time, so he's not just preaching; he practices what he preaches. We appreciate you coming in today, especially since it's No Shave November.
Yes.
Putting yourself in front of the camera. That was a bold move. Looks good. Looks good, I should say. So,
thank you.
Thanks again, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.